At the end of the day, if we are not free to speak the truth about problems, and if there is no trust either between the workforce and management or within the management team itself, we are fooling ourselves as to how much we can really accomplish with anything we try to change. If we look up the definition of culture, if any of you have ever done that, it's no wonder we have trouble changing culture. It's really difficult to even understand the definitions. It's almost like they were written by sociology professors. I believe that it's easier to come up with a simple definition: how people interact with equipment and each other. In fact, there's one more that's even better: what people are thinking as they interact with equipment and each other. If we understand that, we have the key to successful change. I'd like to examine the change process for a moment from 30,000 feet. If we look at the triggers, the reason that we decide it's important to change, we either recognize weaknesses in the things that we're doing currently, or maybe management just desires better results. So they do something to initiate change. It could be on a small scale. It could be on a very large scale that requires lots of resources and a huge investment. Through that work, we gain process knowledge and we implement change. And we expect gains and benefits at the end of that work. But what happens when they don't materialize? Do we think we've picked the wrong initiative? Maybe we need to shop for another one? Often upper management will believe that. Gee, we just picked the wrong one. We better go do another one. It will probably deliver the change that we had hoped for and expect. What if there's something else going on here? Let's talk about collisions for a moment. When we implement change, we learn something new about our business. Collisions are a natural part of the change process. They occur when whatever we've learned or whatever needs to change to gain the value and bring dollars to the bottom line collides with the management system. And in this case, I've split the management system into two pieces: management processes and management beliefs and behaviors. And under processes, there's a long list. I didn't put them in here, but some of them are numbers-based tools and decision-making tools. Some are organizational tools that we use day-to-day for restructuring, for communication strategies, for project scopes and project involvement. Those things all fall under process. Then there's our beliefs. What do we believe about change? What do we as managers believe is our responsibility to take responsibility for, and maybe what we feel is somebody else's responsibility? What do we believe about meeting expectations and what's acceptable choices to make when it comes to that? These are things that aren't addressed within the scope of a change initiative, but those beliefs are critical to what happens next. Because now we've got a mindset about change, however that's defined, and it's management's choice when there's a collision that makes the difference between capturing benefits and creating trust, and forfeiting benefits and losing trust. Most management teams and managers at any level, if we're talking about supervisor all the way to the CEO, are well-intentioned, good people. But a lack of awareness is preventing them from understanding how their choices in the moment impact culture, and their ability to capture gains. So, if we have a collision, management choice determines whether potential ends up being trapped or released. It determines whether there's a negative impact on trust and profit and culture and change, or whether that is a positive impact that actually accelerates change in a great way. Mixed messages are a core reason why we cannot capture the change that we've worked so hard to deliver. And if we look at these signs for a moment, on the left we have two signs. One says do not enter and entrance only. Which of you would turn in and which of you would pass that entrance? Not sure which sign is true. Not sure what to believe. The same on the right. One says keep right, the other one says turn left. Which way do we go? Not sure. If we translate these signs into the messages we receive from management at any level, they are a major generator of reactive cultures and mistrust, which then become barriers to capturing the potential that we've worked so hard to identify and quantify. And when we have things happen in the workplace that are unexpected, or maybe we made a promise they wouldn't happen again, we thought we had it fixed, it's difficult for people to maybe come forth with everything they know about that problem so that we can fix the root cause. And anytime there's a hesitancy here, there's value that we're sacrificing. Freedom to speak opens the door to trust and potential, and management's response either keeps that door open or closes it. Something to be aware of here is the performance culture connection between management and the workforce. And if you're serious about capturing all the upside potential that your equipment can deliver, that your cost structure can deliver, that your people can deliver, keeping this connection open is your access to that potential. And if there's not trust, access will be denied. Us versus them. I want to use football as an example here. Let's say we have a quarterback and running back. They're at practice the day before the big game. And something happens during practice, and they have a disagreement. And it's time for the big game. They're in there playing. The quarterback hasn't forgotten this, and he's holding a grudge against the running back. And it's time for him to throw the ball for the winning touchdown. But he doesn't want the running back to get credit for that touchdown. And so he decides not to throw the ball, and he's tackled, and he loses the game. And you're thinking, you know, why would she bring up an example like that? That never happens in sports. It probably doesn't. If it does, it probably only happens once and the quarterback's out of there. The point is, it happens a lot in business. A lot more than it should. When we've got departments who, for various reasons, choose not to support each other when they can, they are making the same kind of choice as that quarterback did for his team, which he was a part of. He was playing like he was on another team. Sometimes our departments play like they're a member of a different team. Solutions for real change. Let's talk about some of those. Sometimes change feels like this, with barriers diverting our attention. What if we could actually raise awareness enough to eliminate some of those so we could go faster? Remember that management's hidden barriers have no natural enemies, so we have to work intentionally to take them down, so we need to know how to recognize those to do that. So if we were to start down a new path for change, what would it look like? Well, we've now discovered that mindsets drive words and actions, And we now know that mindsets drive mixed messages. And mixed messages cause fear in the workplace. Politics hides problems, and our potential is trapped. However, if we can replace mixed messages with trust, now we have freedom to speak, problems fixed, and potential is released.